Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Remember, 11 a.m., a community event on our YouTube channel, the live stream of the 21 Pilots Lounge that was here in the Q101 studios. This is the first time it's being released. So 11 a.m. today. Make sure you're on our socials and on YouTube to make sure you don't miss it. Now it's time for Case's movie review. The last month and a half, we've done horror movies and serial killers in horror movies. But this is the first one post-Halloween. And again, Halloween feels like it was like 7 months ago for some reason. So this is a movie that we talked about on the air. I have. Again, this is why we started this if you're new to the show. I'll make movie references in case knows nothing about what I'm talking about. I got tired of explaining it. So about 8 or 9 months ago, we started having him look at movies like Pulp Fiction and Shawshank Redemption from the lens of a 25-year-old guy and see how these movies stand up to someone his age and also got it never saw movies, except for Boys in the Hood and Norbit.
Those were the big two for me.
Those were the big two as he had.
And earlier this week, we talked about a great cheese heist in London. This was Wednesday in Head to Headlines, where a man stole over $300,000 worth of cheese. You referenced The Town. It made me think it was a movie about cheese, and then I was informed that it was not a movie about cheese. It was a movie about a bank robbery instead.
Which was a letdown. So I've never seen The Town either.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of raw dogging this whole experience.
And that's good because if you haven't, it's okay to get a review and then see if you might watch it based on Case's review.
That's right.
But I was looking forward to a movie about cheese as well.
Well,
so
we have
not a good start. Gotta be honest.
Red flag.
Yeah.
It's not about cheese. It's one of the greatest bank robbery movies of all time. And here's the trailer that came out. Not a super old movie from when we look at classics that we've done. This might be the newest.
2010. So I think this is the newest.
2010. Still, I can't believe it's 14 years old. It was 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. And here was the trailer for the movie in 2010.
People get up every day, tell themselves they're going to change their lives. They never do. I'm going to change mine.
I'm done. You're done? I'm putting this whole town in my rear view. There's people I can't let you walk away from.
I hear you got a nice, sweet new girlfriend.
You're going to do what I ask. All right, but if anything happens to her, I'm going to kill both of you.
This is the not screwing around crew. Find me something that looks like a print so I can grab one of these guys, because this not screwing around thing is about to go both ways.
How do you know Dougie?
I work for the FBI. I'm leaving.
Get that in your head!
I just want you to know that you're going to die in federal prison.
If we get jammed up, we'll hold in court on the street.
The Town, rated R, starts September 17th.
What a good trailer for 2010 when they kind of all fell off and just were like scenes of the movie. Wow. And just so you know, Kenzie, the beginning voice on that's Ben Affleck's voice. So he doesn't sound like Ben Affleck of like in other movies.
Okay.
He goes really heavy on that.
I know I heard my husband. I know I heard John Hamm talking. I heard that. I know I heard that. Now we're doing something.
I wasn't aware he was your husband.
That's my husband.
Well, and you've seen John Hammond so much that you probably think he was funny in this movie. He was not. He was a dead, stone-cold FBI agent that was also said some pretty funny lines that were not intended to be funny, let's say.
Okay, so he was funny.
Well, it's not a funny movie.
So
but
John Hamm, hilarious in The Town.
Okay.
Got it.
Sure, there you go. It's a cheese heist, too, so you watch it there.
Thank God.
So, Case, if you want to open up and talk about this movie that featured Ben Affleck, Jeremy Renner, Blake Lively, John Hamm, Rebecca Hall, and so many others.
What I have here for you guys today is part movie review and part business proposition.
Okay.
So you guys know how there are escape rooms, right?
Yes.
I love escape rooms.
I'm not a fan. I'm too stupid to do them.
Okay.
But after watching not only Point Break a few months ago and now watching The Town, I think to fill up vacancies inside of malls all across America, we need to build bank robbing simulation centers.
Okay.
Because every time I watch a bank robbing movie, I go, I want to do that. I've got to give this a shot.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different roles you can be, so many different things you can do. But I don't want to risk federal prison time. So what we need is a simulation center where we can all go in and rob banks, because The Town, which was a phenomenal movie, is a movie that made me want to rob a bank.
Okay, so what would be your bank robbery role?
I was going to ask you guys this question. Kenzie, simpatico, I love this.
Amazing.
I love this. So I think in any bank robbery, you have the driver.
Who's called the wheelman, by the way.
That's right.
You are not the wheelman.
No, I don't want to be the wheelman.
He's afraid to drive cases anywhere in the city,
Exactly.
so it can't happen.
Can't be the wheelman. You've got the guy who is the safe guy, okay? He is not safe as in secure, but safe as in where the money is.
He breaks into safes.
Thank you. You've got that guy.
Okay.
You've got the guy. There's always one guy who takes it too far, and he loses his mind a little bit.
Is he the gun guy?
There's that. And then, Brian, am I missing anything else? You've got the wheelman, you've got the safe guy, you've got the guy who takes it too far. Is there another iconic bank robbery type position that we could fill? Because I'm thinking about it, the three of us robbed a bank.
Well, I'm going to give you that guy. That guy is Ben Affleck in The Town. He's the guy that tells the customers with guns in their faces, everything's going to be okay. We're not going to hurt you. Just give us the money and we'll be on our way. He does. And you know who that was in Point Break? It was Keanu Reeves, who was an undercover cop. But he was telling everybody, just calm down. Don't pull any guns. It's going to be fine. There's that guy. That's the fourth guy in a bank robbery crew.
I don't fit any of these.
Really?
You're the one that takes it too far.
Are you serious? Is that what you were going to say, Kids?
Yeah.
Hey.
You're the one that goes, we don't have enough money here. We got to get more. And in Point Break, as we know, they didn't take too much. They never got greedy, as Gary Busey says. In this movie, they don't as well. They rob specific things. They take what they only know they can get out quickly and escape with. They don't get greedy.
So how do I go too far? What am I supposed to do?
You're like, well, look at all that other money over there. Why don't we go get that money?
We're already in the building.
I could see you being that person in a second.
Well, what is Case going to do?
He's not the wheel man.
No, I think I'm the guy that points a gun in everybody's face and says, it's going to be okay. Stay calm.
I think you're that guy, too. Yeah.
That leaves you. Are you getting into the safe or are you the wheelman?
He's driving.
Oh, yeah.
You love the radio.
I love sitting in the car and playing with the radio while everybody's doing something else.
And how annoying would he be, because he's such a micromanager, if he was in the bank with us? I would go too far on him. I'd shoot him.
I'll also tell you, with my OCD, I would never get the safe open. Once I went past one number and clicked, I go, I can't do it. I got to go walk 7
There's
steps.
so many possibilities.
I could not do the safe.
Okay, the problem is none of us could rob the bank because we don't have the safe guy.
One of our listeners could be a safe man.
Thank you. Text in, tell us why you should rob a bank with us. We'd be more than happy.
It's a giveaway we're doing.
If you want twisted Christmas tickets.
If you want to be the fourth person.
Oh, it's great.
That is good stuff. So look, I'm all for this bank robbing town simulation idea that I have. And I also am for everybody watching The Town at some point in their lives. This is a phenomenal movie. This is one of those movies that is so perfectly cast and all of the characters have such life to it. I was describing to somebody this morning, somebody else in the building. The story of the movie is like a 7 out of 10. You know, it's a compelling heist movie. Nothing really shocks me at any point. It's just a compelling watch all throughout. But all of the characters are so vivid and have such life to them. In particular, Jeremy Renner, I think, steals this entire movie.
Incredible. And a lot of people know him just from the Avengers movies or, you know.
I know him from Tag, which is a movie about grown men who play.
Oh, my God, I love that movie.
I knew you would.
I love Tag.
That's the movie where grown men always play tag against one another. They've known each other their entire lives.
It's a real story.
It is. It's a very nice story. So I only knew him from that. Renner in this movie, I don't want to be in the same room as him. If that was a real guy and he was in my life, I would avoid him at all costs because that is a dangerous guy who is not afraid to act dangerous at a moment's notice.
Kenzie, I'll give you a little bit of a preface.
Sounds like somebody I date.
Well, you know what? I think you're right.
Yeah.
Because this guy, he's handsome, he's tough. He already went to jail. I'm not saying all your other dates went to jail first and got out. He went to jail.
You don't have to say it.
And I hope I'm not stealing your thunder on this movie. But Jeremy Renner in the movie went to jail for saving Ben Affleck's life by shooting a guy that was gonna shoot him. So he went to jail.
Oh, how do you go to jail for that? That's self-defense.
Stand your ground, baby.
Well, he shot him in the back, but he was. And there's a scene in the movie when he goes, guy should have been a track star. I had to chase him down forever. I finally got to him and shot
fast
him.
people. I'm on his side.
There's another line, Kenzie, that I think, in case pulled this audio, that you're going to love from the movie The Town.
Okay.
So Ben Affleck starts dating somebody, and somebody disrespects her. And Ben Affleck finds out who it is. So he goes to Jeremy Renner, who's his best friend in the movie. They grew up together in Charlestown, Boston. They're tough guys, obviously. And he goes to him and wants to go get payback on the guys that disrespected his girlfriend.
Which one's his girlfriend? Is it Blake Lively?
No. Well, it is, but it isn't. He has a new girlfriend that's a nice girl, where Blake Lively's a tough broad in this movie.
That's his ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, I would say ex. They don't really say that in the movie, but
she's kind of lingering.
He possibly has a kid with her, but he says it's not his.
The thing is with the
Why
Blake...
is she still around then?
The thing is with the Blake Lively character, Once you date her, it's going to be hard to get rid of her.
She
Oh,
is.
so I'm Blake Lively.
In
Again,
many ways.
You're the one that takes the bank robbery too far, and you're Blake Lively in this.
Takes the relationship too far.
Blake, I don't even know much about Blake Lively movies. I know her from this movie. And
So Rebecca Hall is the girlfriend that's
yes.
nice.
Yes.
Hey.
She's a nice girl.
How'd she get disrespected? Somebody cut her off in traffic?
Guys threw bottles at her because they live in Charlestown, which is a tough neighborhood in Boston. And so Ben Affleck, who is secretly dating her because he doesn't want the other guys to know he's dating a nice girl, that he finds out who does it. So he goes to Jeremy Renner, and Kenzie, you got to really listen to this audio. He goes into Jeremy Renner's house, and he says these lines, which are iconic in movie history.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people.
Whose car are we gonna take?
Did you understand the whole scene there, Kenzie?
I get it. But just because somebody threw a bottle at her?
That's the kind of people these are.
Yes.
So he basically went into Jeremy Renner.
No one would help me. I would have just beat somebody up and threw a bottle at me.
Yeah, so
I get it, Blake Lively. I get it. I got it.
Well, Ben Affleck wanted someone to help, and he knew that Jeremy Renner is the most evil guy he knows.
Yeah.
He goes, we're never going to talk about it. I'm not going to tell you why we're beating these guys up, and just don't ask me later about it. And then Jeremy Renner just goes, well, whose car are we taking? Doesn't ask any questions. I'm looking forward. And Kenzie, when they're beating up these guys, okay, Ben Affleck just wanted to beat him up. Jeremy Renner took it to the next level, said, no, I'm not that kind of guy. He's beating him up, and he shoots the guy in the kneecap while they're beating him up, and he goes, there goes college soccer.
Okay, but Jeremy, just so I know, he's single in the movie.
He's single and available.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So you should see the town.
So I'll put a bow on it with this because David Melrose Park checked in and he asked me, because I've watched Point Break before, David Melrose Park wanted to know if I enjoyed Point Break more or the town more.
Ooh.
I give the edge to Point Break, and that is only because
You're crazy for Swayze.
Crazy for Swayze.
Well, that's clear. Who is it?
Gang, gang.
Guilty. Lock me up.
Amen.
I vastly prefer West Coast surf culture to Boston culture. And this movie is Boston overload. These are people from Boston who love being from Boston. It makes for a compelling film. But when I watch Point Break, I go, I could have been friends with Anthony Kiedis, who's in that movie from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I could have been friends with Keanu Reeves. I could have been friends with Patrick Swayze. I have no friends in this movie. The Town is not a movie that I relate to. All the characters are phenomenal, but there's no part of me in The Town.
They're scary.
They're terrifying.
I listen to this and feel like I could be friends with all of them. I haven't seen the movie, but I like them.
Kenny's like, who am I going to date in this movie? So, will you watch The Town based on that review, Kenzie?
I'll watch it.
You should. You should.
I know we're getting a lot of text line requests for different bank robbery movies. And can I just say my favorite bank robbery movie because no one is saying it?
Sure.
My favorite bank robbery movie, and I know Case won't know it because for obvious reasons, so we do the whole thing. But Brian, have you ever heard of Bandits?
Yes.
Like Billy Bob Thornton, and
Yeah.
so they end up kidnapping this girl during a bank robbery. Bank robbery gotten wrong; they didn't mean to, and they both fall in love with her. It's Cate Blanchett, and then she kind of dates both of them.
Yeah.
It's my favorite bank robbery movie, and no one's bringing it up, and it hurts my feelings.
Well, I'm sorry no one's bringing it up on the text line. Another text from Melrose Park came in as the next bank robbery movie should be Heat.
I would love to watch Heat. I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
With Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. It's a legendary, another movie you will, I think, love to death. Maybe we'll get that on the docket. But before we put a bow on this, what's your score? I don't know what you're going to do. Masks?
I'll do masks again, because we did that for Point Break.
Nun masks?
Nun masks. So if Point Break was like an 8 out of 10, I give this a solid 7.5 nun mask out of 10.
Nice.
2 hours on the dot. Every character in this movie is super compelling. They're super interesting. Everyone stays in their lane. There's never, other than Renner talking about the college soccer thing, which was a super funny line, like John Hamm is never looking in the camera going like, oh, brother, we're going to have to get him this time. It's not, no one's playing this for laughs. This is a phenomenal movie. Jeremy Renner is an animal in it. I love this whole thing. 2 thumbs up, 7.5 out of 10 for The Town.
I'm happy about that because I love this movie, and I found out how many of our listeners who hit you up about this movie. Our friend, when you put it on Instagram, our friend Tom Schmall and the record industry guy.
So Tom Schmall is a guy who helps bring a lot of cool bands to Q101.
Like the Smashing Pumpkins.
Smashing Pumpkins and Bridget Calls Me Baby. And then I had 2 other people from Bridget Calls Me Baby both DM me and be like, we love The Town. That's our favorite movie. It's
weird.
Like, who would have thought Bridget Calls Me Baby also super into The Town?
So go watch it. This review, if you caught the end of it, will be up on our podcast later.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.